One thing I will say about animation as a whole, folks, and this has come from somebody that, you know, a majority of their video library at times is nothing but animation, but mostly when it comes to memorable animation, I've got just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not the whole, but basically a decent amount of Disney movies. Now, Disney, along with things like Pixar, the subdivision, or subsidiary, if you will, and things like DreamWorks, and even Blue Skies at times, can offer very beautiful animation to look at and remember. Especially if you blend it all together to have something that's a total package, and that is animation that goes along animation that goes with great characters and stories. Or, to say it the otherwise, great animation you can associate a story with, the characters with, and overall make it the total package of something to be very, very memorable. But the other form of animation, I should say, and I think I just gave it away there, that we're all fans of, that can present a very beautiful, memorable image along with great stories and characters to go along with it, is Japan animation, otherwise known as anime. But the one thing about anime, though, that a lot of people that makes it more probably talkative and memorable than, let's say, Western animation or European animation, is the fact that anime can get away with a lot more than what we can here in the Western Hemisphere or the Western part of the world. They can get away with a lot more story-wise, character-wise, plot, story-wise, character-wise, and overall animation-wise. They can do a lot more. We here in the U.S. we can try doing that too. But the only way our animation can ever match to that quality or match to that everyday scenario in Japan is if it's done for a show, an animation show seen late at night. That's mainly what it is. Mainly, you gotta basically plan out a program to be seen late at night. Japan anime, they're the same way. Japanese anime, if you will, they're the same way. They have certain programs and stuff that they create that can only be broadcast at night. But even with that said, they also have movies and shows just like we do that get broadcast or shown throughout the day. And some of them make you ask and wonder, what the heck were they thinking? I mean, legitimately, that's the question you have, is what the heck were they thinking? And what I mean by that is, sometimes it's not just the story. The story can be great, the characters can be memorable, but the imagery as well as the animation can be beautiful to look at. But then sometimes the imagery and what's wrote into, and what I'm trying to say is, the imagery sometimes, with all that combined, can make you wonder one question summed up into 3 words. WTF, what the were they thinking? Literally, that's the question anybody would have. I mean, you could have all this beautiful animation and memorable characters and stories to go together and become that total package, whether it's here in the Western animation or Japan animation anime. But sometimes you're going to get that one image or that scene of images throughout that make you wonder, what the blank were the animation writers thinking? What were the animation studios thinking drawing this scene that the writers put or suggested in? What was going through their minds? See, that's the one question a lot of people have. But that is the one thing that makes anime, even when it gets crossed over here with a decent English dub, which a lot of people hope for, and stays true to its source, that's the one thing a lot of people here know makes anime very memorable and enjoyable to watch. It's not just the fact that, oh, well, you know, it's visually stunning and beautiful at most times. It is, believe me. But most times it's also making you wonder, what did I just see here? Why was this put in here? Why did they add this? Why did they add that? It makes you question. It makes you question exactly what were the people thinking. Because you don't know what they were thinking. You really don't. And when I watch someone like Bennett the Sage, Bennett White, if you will, in his Anime Abandoned show, I know that with any person writing up a review / script for their review show, for their review that will last either 15 to a little over 30 minutes, I know in a sense that they're going to review something. If it's anime related, like Anime Abandoned, they're going to review something, and even though visually it'll be stunning and beautiful for them to watch, it's going to have its moments to where even shoot-wise, they're going to have to write how they really feel into their review, into the script, because basically shoot-wise, they're going to see something that's going to blow their mind. And it does. You know, there have been several animes that Bennett and others have reviewed. Well, basically they ask that question of why? What's the point of this? Why did this character have this visual? Or have this visual representation given to them? Or why did this character do this? Or even, why did the character become this? You know, that's always the question people have. For example, I'll give you one example here. Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie. Yeah. This is an anime based on the manga and the anime series. It's basically a retelling of the entire anime series condensed and manga condensed into one movie. The only difference that they did, the only change that they made that made people think, what the blank am I seeing? What the blank am I watching? What was the point of this? Why did she become this? Is towards the end. Towards the end, a car wash, for some odd reason, pops up out of nowhere, sucks the main protagonist, Utena, in, and basically results with her coming out the other side as a pink car. A pink car that, oh, by the way, has a cloth hidden within it that when it gets covered by said cloth, changes into a different car. Now, I haven't seen Bennett make a review of Utena the movie yet, but I guarantee you, when he gets to it, even he's going to wonder, what the heck is going on here? What's the point of this? And that's about the thing. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of anime when it comes to something like Revolutionary Girl Utena. Revolutionary Girl Utena is one of those animes that you watch, and again, you wonder, you know, what were they thinking with that one scene, with her turning into a car? Because visually, this movie is beautiful and is stunning to look at, and is a decent retelling in movie format of the entire series, of the entire anime series and manga. It really is. But the question the question viewers have about this, I mean, even Deotaku did a review on this, along with a fellow reviewer that appeared in Bennett's end of Bennett the Sage's a review of the end Evangelion, easy for me to say, Evangelion, the end of Evangelion, and you know, they asked the question, legitimately or part of character, but I'm pretty sure both, of what the heck is the point? Why is she a car? Why was this character turned into a car at the end? And again, I know that's a question Bennett's going to have if he ever does review this. But like I said, that's one of the beauties of anime. It gets you asking that question of why. It gets you so intrigued that it makes you not only wonder and want to try to answer that question or find answers to that question, but it makes those that hear about it from you want to view that anime, not just because of the animation and the characters and all that might blend perfectly together, but because of those moments and scenes that make you ask what the freak was the animation writer or the anime writer for said anime, movie, or series thinking. But it's not just something like Utena. You take a look at New Cutie Honey. New Cutie Honey, or the Cutie Honey series, mostly New Cutie Honey, this is basically an anime that is straight up action. It's a tribute to cosplays, you name it. But basically there are certain moments in this anime, if you will, there's certain moments in this anime that basically when Utena turns into, because one of the main capabilities of Utena here is she can turn into anybody. She's basically a gyroid. She can turn into anybody. So by turning into anybody or even anything, if you will, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's fascinating because she can basically go deep undercover if she has to. It's fascinating because she can go deep undercover. Now, there are some transformations that she goes through. Like there's one transformation where she becomes a Buddha statue. Literally, she becomes a Buddha statue in one of the episodes of that anime. And I'm sure there's a lot more that she goes through. Maybe some of you can tell me what kind of other strange transformations she goes through. But the point is, she goes through some unique transformations, and sometimes it makes you wonder what was the point of her disguising herself as this character or that character or even as this inanimate object. And when you ask that question, it makes you want to come back for more. It really does. It makes you want to come back for more down the line. It really does. And it gets people that when they hear about you questioning why was it added in, makes them want to come back makes them want to come and watch as well to see exactly what you're talking about. But again, asking that question of, what the blank what the blank did I just see, or what was the point of this, or basically WTF, what the blank were they thinking, is one of the things that makes anime so beautiful. It's not just a stunning visual art form that it is. It's not just the perfect blend of story and characters at most times, or sometimes. It's that moment, it's those moments, it's those scenes that make you think, what the blank were they thinking? It's those visual imageries that make you wonder, why did the writer put that in? Because you never know. Some prime examples on here. They are like 1 Million Year Trip, Phoenix 2772, the Princess Knight series at times, Baji, there are things on here in those movies that I've talked about, those classic animes, that have moments and scenes in there that make you think, what the blank with the these screenwriters, these animation writers, these anime writers, what the heck were they thinking adding this scene or adding that scene or putting this visual imagery in there? What was the point? What was the point? What is it? 1001 Arabian Nights, the Osamu Tezuka version, makes you ask that question a lot. In fact, some of Tetsuku's animes that he's done that's on here, like Baji and 1 Million Year Trip, make you all ask those questions of what the heck was he thinking when he came up with the concept, when he wrote the story. So, again, I think the reason they do that is because they know people are going to ask that question, but also, even as strange as it may sound, they want to give the viewer some visual imagery that, brings them back for more, or asking for more, or has them relay it to somebody they know that might be interested as well. But sometimes it's not just that strange imagery. It really isn't. Sometimes it's not that strange imagery either. The visual imagery that makes you think people that wrote it and drew it are on some kind of drug, some kind of LSD. Sometimes it could also be scenes in there you wouldn't think they'd come up with. For example, getting back to the Evangelion series. Getting back to this. Not this one specifically, but the end of Evangelion. There's a moment that Bennett, when he did his review of it, showed where one of the main characters who got shot and was dying because said shot kisses the main male protagonist, who happens to be around the age of maybe 14, 15, 16, maybe, well, I wouldn't say 16, I'd say more like 14, 15, maybe 13 years old, and the female protagonist that kisses him is like maybe 18, 19, 20, or portrayed like that. She kisses him on the lips as an encouragement, tells him that's a grown-up kiss and that they'll do the rest later when he comes back, only for him not to know that that's the last thing she'll probably ever do. And when you see a moment like that, even if it's the last physical thing someone dying would do, it still makes you think and wonder, why was that there? What were the writers thinking? Why did the animators or animators agree to put it in? Why was that kept into an English dub when it came over? And mainly again, it goes back to what I talked about, that visual imagery that makes you think the animators were on LSD or something like that. It's the fact that it gets people talking. It gets people talking to the point that other people are going to hear about it and they're going to want to see it just to see if that's true. And it's not just and even the end of Evangelion is not just, it's one of those movies, like I mentioned, that has a scene not just like that, but it has that visual imagery that makes you think, what is going on? Were they smoking something? Were they drugged? What's going on? It makes you think that. It makes you think that. But the earliest kind of example of something like that, of a young, attractive adult female kissing a young male character, maybe around the proximity of 13, 12, 15 years old, what I saw for an early example was Galaxy Express 999, which again is another one Bennett did. But Bennett never showed that part at the end. You see, the main female protagonist kisses the young male protagonist on the lips. Yeah, the male protagonist is portrayed like maybe 12, 13, 14 years old. The female protagonist in Galaxy Express 999 is portrayed to be like maybe in her early 20s. And what does she do? She ends up and what does she do? And this is spoilers in case nobody's seen it. At the end of the film, as both of them go their separate ways, she ends up kissing him on the lips. Literally. And it shocks him. It makes him stand in attention like, whoa, kind of deal. But it's one of those moments, even as early as 1981, that makes you think, even back then, what did I just see? What were they thinking? What's the point of this? Why would they come up with that idea? It doesn't make sense.